Jackson Holiday. Can you bring up Jackson Holiday right now and play him at second the way Jorge Mateo is playing? Because I don't think you can. Jorge Mateo, we've got – I saw someone – last year we had April Jorge. Now we have May Jorge. If Jorge Mateo stays on this team and stays on this path that he's on right now, in like 2028, we are about to see the greatest postseason run of all time by Jorge Mateo. Like, we just got to stick it out till then. But let's talk about Jorge. Every aspect of the game, defensively, he's making a difference. He's been a difference maker. Let's say Anthony Santander catches that Bo Bichette ball. The whole reason a game wouldn't have been tied at the time was because of an insane play by Jorge Mateo, stopping the ball with a man on second that would have scored a run, if not for the next play he scores anyway. So it doesn't really matter when you look at the box score, but it's little plays he's made every single day that make you sit back and go, this is the Jorge Mateo that, he keeps you hoping. This is the Jorge that you cling on to when he's 0 for his last 36. It's that it's in there, and it's in there. That electricity is in there somewhere. But man, I get when it's frustrating, but right now he's proving that he's putting it all together. And we've seen flashes of it, and this might just be another flash, but I've said it before, when he's on, it's good and bad, but Jorge Mateo is the most electrifying player to step on the field every single time he does, whether it's going to be for a good reason or a bad reason. It's up for the game to decide, but he goes out there and he makes a difference every single time. So what are your guys' thoughts on Jorge right now?
Kevin, you can go.
For me, I mean, the Orioles are better when Jorge is on. I mean, Ryan did the breakdown on it, kind of how good he was in April of last year, and then kind of the downward trajectory he went on for the rest of the season. He's a good player to have, whether you're using him as a utility guy everywhere, because he gives you so many different things. I mean, when he's hitting, I mean, we saw my favorite thing, and obviously McKenna's not there anymore, but the M&Ms with McKenna and Mateo, and they were homer in the same inning. I think no one's going to forget that, because it was just one of the more improbable things we had seen this team do. But he gives you that speed element. I just think he's a good guy to have around. And his role doesn't have to be the biggest. He doesn't have to play every single day and always be in the lineup. But you have a guy, and I think what we're going to see is eventually, and this is, I don't know how far down the line this is, whether it's a month, 2 months, next year, but they're going to probably make a decision between Urias and Mateo, and then it'll probably be the rest of their guys. Jackson, he'll probably be up again by that point. So I think Mateo's a guy you want to have around, and somebody that already has shown what he can do. There are bad stretches with Mateo, but there are bad stretches with every player. The thing, though, is you don't have to necessarily ride Mateo out during those bad stretches, because you have other depth. And I think that's what makes him in particular a valuable piece, because, is he going to be the sole reason why the Orioles won a World Series? No. I mean, you obviously put in terms of importance factor, Adley and Gunnar and Westy and, Burns and Brad, all these guys. But he's a nice, I guess you could call him a glue piece, like a glue guy, essentially, to get out
Actually,
there.
Someone just did up here. I was going to say someone
did someone?
Right
look
there,
at that.
glue.
Look at that, Johnny. Same page there. So I do think he's a glue guy, can play multiple positions, give you the speed, give you a homer every month or so, maybe. So I think he's a solid, even though there's a lot of controversial takes about him and controversial opinions. I think the Orioles are better when they have him just even as an insurance policy, if you want to kind of minimize the role a little bit.
Yeah, and Jason, I want to talk to you about this for a little bit. I've seen a few comments. What are your thoughts on potentially, with Mullen slumping right now? Do you see that, hey, if they want someone else up, do they put Mateo? Do you still think he has serviceable ability in center field? Because I'm 50-50 on it, but that is obviously a way to continue to get him involved.
Yeah, I mean, I kind of alluded to this earlier, but I think the Orioles are so good and so stacked right now that you have the option to put your best 9 players on the field, no matter how you arrange them, right? I
Mhm.
mean, obviously, everyone has to be competent defensively to do so. And I'm kind of with you. I've seen Jorge make some plays he shouldn't make out there, and then I've seen him miss some plays he should in center. But I think, especially with the way he's playing this very second, you could make the case, even if he's 9, he's one of your 9 best players. And
Yeah.
you know what? If that changes Friday night, you don't have to start him on Saturday. It's just one of those where you have so many pieces that can move around, and minors, majors, AAA, doesn't matter where they're coming from. You have enough guys who can start and make this team a winning team 162 times a year, which you're not going 162 and 0. But a guy like Mateo, you have to play him when he's hot. And right now, if that means putting him in center for a week, why not?
Yeah, and Steven, same wavelength today. Even if Mateo isn't in the starting lineup, he's very valuable as a runner in late extra inning situations. And yeah, if Mateo hadn't started today and they were committing to McCann was bunting, I can assure you it would have not been Tony sitting on third base. They would have had Mateo in there to make something happen, and Mateo probably would have been safe. Hell, maybe even standing up. So, yeah, to kind of wrap up the Mateo talk, Mateo is so valuable in every situation, so many situations on this team, whether it's in the starting lineup, defensive replacement, a runner on the base paths. He's just one of those guys that I don't think the Orioles ever want to get rid of right now, especially this season, because, man, is he just making plays happen every single day right now.